I'll record. Right. And AI will do its thing anyway. Interesting. Well, if people have questions, they can start loading up chat also. One thing I should do. When we hit 30, I'm going to kick it off. Amazing. And you should all know I'm giving up a dolphin game to do this.
I almost sent you an email saying, what, you're not an NFL fan?
Well, I'm a fan of losing teams for the last 40 years, apparently. But it's the one thing I get to share, one of the few things I can share with my dad, because he still likes to watch the games every once in a while. So we can bullshit about a dolphin game, but they're so bad. And the truth is that is fun because he just curses them out. So there's nothing. It's good. Charles Altman coming out
How
of
are you?
retirement.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova, coming out of retirement.
Yeah, especially to be quick, Jason, quick question. I've got some people who couldn't manage today. Are you going to allow a replay
Yeah.
later?
Yeah, I did it. I'm recording it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Good.
I'll figure out how to get it out there, but I will record this.
Yeah, good, good.
Right.
Yes. So I
I
want to see what you can teach me that I don't know.
ah well, I think people here are all at different levels. So
Yeah,
that'll
okay.
change things, right?
Okay, thank you.
I mean, here we could do a test, 24 people. How many people have created a custom GPT?
I have.
Wow, so it's right. So it's a small number. Right. How about this? How many people know what the @ sign does inside ChatGPT besides Dave Burkus? That's going to be the real secret, right? All right, 2 more minutes, we'll kick it off. Relax,
Jason,
multitask.
Jason, what I find it very useful is to get information. I hardly use Google, because it is so precise and so good. And I was overseas in UK and I used it a lot of where to go, it's incredible.
Well, traveling wise, yes, it's amazing because you're not getting fed a bunch of listings, you're getting fed an answer to a question.
Correct.
That's a difference. So if you're looking for somebody, just for the business that we're in, the Google is still better in terms of the
That's
result
it.
because you're getting a mix of reviews, signals, content, all sorts of things. Like if you're looking for a doctor or a lawyer or somebody like that, it's Google's still superior, right?
Yeah, but it gives you too much side crap that I can't take, Google, you
I
know.
hear you. I hear you.
Anyway,
Let's see. All right. 1 more minute, and we'll get going. Actually, I'm going to do check one thing. What's going on here? Huh. It seems that ChatGPT works different in Chrome. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, but there are enough differences. I changed back to Edge.
Yeah, I'm with you. But today, literally, OpenAI changed, ChatGPT changed its interface.
Today?
Yeah, maybe even
Oh,
this afternoon.
great. Now
Interesting.
that screws us up.
All right, fine. Let's get going here. We'll try to streamline things. So what I want to do is we'll keep things tight. I wanted to explore what a custom GPT is and how to sort of 10x your usage of ChatGPT. That is the idea. So if you don't know what it, and I'm going to share screens because obviously we're not talking. So this is going to be most of what we're talking about. So what they changed is they used to have a link here called GPTs. Now it became a header. So you click on Explore and it shows you all this. So a custom GPT is basically like in Excel, like a script that or a macro. It just gets you, instead of starting at a home base on any task that you want to do, you start further around the bases. So and I'm going to show you how that all works, and it's really amazing. So let me pull up my custom GPTs. Okay, so hold on, these are my custom GPTs. And I'm going to show you how you create one and what's behind the scenes. Okay. So um, I'll give you something simple. This is called critical analysis for unexpected messages. Okay. So what happens is, let's continue, configure. Okay. What the
Jason, it's difficult to read. I can't read it.
Yeah, don't worry
So
about
small.
reading it. Don't worry about reading. I'm going to make it larger. Uh,
Okay.
what this says is it's a critical analysis for unexpected messages. What happens is people write things and they say things, and sometimes they don't realize that they're giving the wrong impression for something that they're saying. And so when you're writing content, you want to make sure that you're in alignment with the person who's reading that content. This tool, instead of trying to start from ChatGPT and give it all these instructions to make sure I'm saying the things I should be saying, I created something. I'm going to open it up here. Oh, hold on one second. Here.
Jason,
So
Jason, are you trying to share screen?
is it not? Oh, is it
I'm
not
not sharing.
sharing?
It's not sharing.
Oh, give me a second. Thank you for saying that. Let me stop and I'll start again. Maybe I have to share the whole window. Share. You are correct. Entire screen. Should be sharing everything. Is it not showing my Chrome?
Yeah,
Do you see it, everybody?
yes.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
now.
Okay, good. All right, fine. So the way you get here in the very beginning, if you're creating your own thing, you're going to click explore and you get to a page that says GPTs. You have two choices. You can create something and we'll do one together, or you can go to your GPTs that already exist. So if you're just clicking create, you're going to go here. You skip this and you go to configure and you get to a form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I filled out the form in order to create a GPT that you can all use afterwards and show you how it works. That's what I want to show you here. So you give it a name, you give it a description. It doesn't matter what you put in there, you just have to have something. The real keys are starting in here is this is basically a prompt. And you have, I think, you have a lot of room to put stuff in here. So what I did was I said, okay, you're a critical framer, you're a critic. You These are all conditions that you're looking for. You classify risk. I mean, I didn't create this from scratch, but this is something that was built. It all is meant to help analyze some content. Okay. Here, I'm going to put it all together. That's one. I left that out. Anyway, so it goes through all this. Whatever prompt you're putting in, you stick in here, okay? And what I happen to do is there are different pieces of the prompt that I like, that it's not just, oh, look at the content. There's other, I mean, we could break it all down, but I don't want to go through all of it. I'm just want to show you the idea is if it finds something, it categorizes it, it reframes it, it gives you evidence. And we're going to actually try it together. It has guardrails are ways to keep things inside the prompt so that it doesn't go off the rails. Why it's called the guardrail. Okay. All of this is stuff that you can evolve and you can edit it, you can keep testing it. But at the end of it all, I've got a prompt. I mean, we can keep things very simple. And this is the first thing. This is the instructions for the prompt. Maybe what we'll do is we'll type in some text as if we're using it. Let me get to the prompt. And we'll see what a result looks like. Maybe it'll be easier to do that than to go backward, than to go forwards. Hold on, critical analysis. So if I start here, I'll get an article. Let's pull up something from today. I don't want to see NFL. We'll go to Sony. Find something. Let's see, they got an article on something. Right, so I'm going to find some piece of content here. Oh, that's YouTube. I'm sorry. I don't want that. Sorry, here news. Hope it's not on YouTube again. Okay, fine. So I'm going to paste this content. So it's going to go in here and I'm going to say, okay, tell me what it sees. And anybody has content they want to evaluate, it can do also. So I'm also skipping one thing here, which is to not talk about the difference between the models of 4 and 5 and 3.5, because there's plenty of information on that. So here, this was an article. Sony's going to be, they announced they're exhibiting in October at some conference in Chiba City. They have something called Creative Entertainment Vision, which is where they want to be in 10 years, right? And this is going to be their booth at the conference. So what this thing is, it critiques the announcement. It tells me what Sony's claiming. But now if somebody doesn't like Sony or someone's trying to look for negative things about this, they've now got what a skeptic might infer and why it matters. Right? And so again, without getting stuck with the details, the point is that I didn't have to go and create the question for this content. I used a custom GPT to evaluate and analyze content that helps me figure out, could I have made this better? Did I say something that maybe is going to get me in trouble? And I don't mean like legal trouble. I mean like I'm just giving off the wrong message. So it has a whole formula that's built in here that helps you. What the hell is that? To evaluate content. I'm going to get back to the GPT for a second, okay? So if you look in here, these are all the instructions, and I'll show a few more, okay? A conversation starter is a piece where you just tell the user what you want them to do when they get to the custom GPT. The knowledge base is where you get to upload files and train the custom GPT. And I'm going to show you another one, okay? So let me leave this behind. Let me go to a deeper one that is, let me get to my custom GPTs. Here, I'll show you something called pitch deck. Okay, good. So everybody wants to create a pitch deck if they're going to go present to an investor. So what this does is it takes a document that you have and it turns it into a pitch deck. And it uses different frameworks to create the pitch deck. Again, it doesn't really matter what's in here. The point here today is to teach you how you are going to start from second and third base on something. So part one was define what the objective was, give it some instructions, give it some more prompt instructions. So you don't have to go through this ever again because it's already inside your saved GPT. But this is where the magic becomes. I can load up examples of what a good custom pitch deck looks like. Like Guy Kawasaki, everybody talks about his 10-page pitch deck. I can load that in here and say, here's an actual example. So let's, what I don't have is, I don't know that I can open it. No, I'd have to go up there. Oh, I feel bad. I didn't get this one in here. I'm going to show you something else. The point is that you can, I think you can load up to 10 documents inside here. More than 10 documents. Claude has CLUD projects is 10 documents, or chat projects is 10 documents. But you can load documents in here and train the custom GPT. So Charles, think of it like this. If you're doing a insurance thing, Charles Altman does life insurance and long-term care and things like that. If you wanted to load up certain audits that you've done for a prospect, and you want to write a new audit for somebody, you could load them up here. It's all private. No, you can use the custom GPT only for yourself. Okay. You could give yourself instructions, and you can start an audit of a new prospect, not from scratch where you're trying to load everything up. Everything is sitting in here already privately. Nobody can see it, as an example. Okay. Let me show you something else. So for example, here, let's see if it's on here. I don't know why it keeps defaulting. Okay, here's something simple. This is not with documents, but here's a another prompt, and we can actually use this. Let's say you've written something and you know that you're not a storyteller, but you wish you were. So you could use this prompt to convert whatever you wrote into a storytelling framework as if you were going into Hollywood. Not that you're writing a TV show, but that is as if you were a Hollywood person for 20 years and you know how to frame a sales pitch in the form of a story. This converts your content into a story, anything you want. So somebody created this whole analysis of here's a structure of how you tell a story. You don't have to say once upon a time, but they did. And you just basically, you put the content in here. You have an example. I could go ahead, I can close this. I could have, with this upload files, I could have 10 files that are examples of awesome stories. One of the first content things that I ever did was, let me see if I have it, is a viral copy. This I didn't create. Well, let me show you something else. Sentiscan. So you see all these documents? Sentiscan is it's a tool that we created that looks at content to determine if it's created by AI. So you could give me a whole article. We hire writers every month for our agency, and they tell us that they're writing it by hand. We don't trust them because AI is too easy. So we take the article that they've given, we go to Sentiscan. Let's go in here. I got to go. Unfortunately, can't get them all. So I'm going to go to my GPTs. Oh, actually, you know what? I have an idea. Let's just take what we just did. So I'm going to go to my GPTs. I'm going to copy the Sentiscan. Here it is, analysis. So I could paste any content in here, and it will tell me if it was written with AI. So let's go to Google News for today. Let's just find an article. And I'll show you what it's looking for. So if we go to Google News, pick an article. Here, the federal government could shut down. Here's what you need to know, right? Let's see if it's text. Next time I have these faster and preloaded. I feel like the guy at Go High Level in Washington who was trying to call an AI agent and he was waiting a minute for it to load. It's terrible. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, there you go. No, didn't come. All right, sorry. We'll come back to it. What I want to show you is what the hell's going on here? Oh, there it comes. Okay. So we're going to copy this. And Dave, this is why I switched to Edge. I will just take this small piece of content. We're going to paste it in here. Now, this one is very sophisticated because it's going to ask me a lot of questions, and I'm going to show it to you. Remember I said that at the beginning, you can, do we have it here? Right. You can have conversation starters. So I have here conversation starters asking me what I want to analyze, and it has questions. So what do you want to do? So I'm going to analyze a block of content. And then it's going to ask me more questions. This one is very sophisticated. The reader is the public. The content is about news. So I have more things, and all of this stuff is inside the prompt, right? So I'm going to say, down here's the most important part. Give me highlights. Just give me highlights. Of the content. Maybe it's going to ask me another question. So now it's going through all this content, and it's telling me where it looks like it was either AI or it's just poor writing quality, and it scores it now, even some of it. Now, why am I showing you this? I don't care about the content. The reason is what's behind the scenes. Each one of these documents, I can show you some of it. Let me show you one of them. And you can upload Word documents. You can upload, what do you call it? PDFs, stuff like that. So here's AI. So for example, here's a document, AI detection rules. It's very secret. So I'm opening up the kimono. If it opens. Or here, this one too. AI keywords to avoid. This is 400 keywords, phrases. I think it's 400. That I don't want ever to show up in any writing because it looks like AI. Right? I mean, if you see any word that ends in LESS, these days it's AI. Endless, boundless, timeless. Unless the book is called Timeless, it came from AI. So that's that thing. Here's the AI detection. Look at all this stuff in here. These are all rules. This is a 34-page document with rules about
listening to the
what
thing
was
about AI, and I'm not understanding it at all. Ask AI and maybe they can explain it. No, I just spent an hour, almost 2 hours trying to get my phone fixed with Will. He's been great. All of a sudden, my Exchange account on my phone, yeah, I can get Outlook on my phone, but I like the Exchange account because the nice part about it,
What's an Exchange account?
it's probably what you get your email from the company.
I don't know how to mute that
Do
person.
it on email or do you do it? Anyway, what I can do.
Hold on, let's see what I can do.
It's my Outlook.
Okay, well, I do it also on Exchange because, and maybe there's a way to do it on Outlook.
Just tell everyone to mute.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
And it's important, and I read it,
I should
and I
be
want
able
to
to do
remember
that.
to read it. Like,
Audio.
I can go back and bold it again. I can show it as unread.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do that.
Is there a way to mute everybody?
And I mean, the good news with Exchange, like if I'm away, that I learned with Outlook, I can.
Sheesh.
Exchange doesn't always delete everything. Outlook does. So
It's
like
Joseph Gabayan.
But
Really? Okay, hold on.
Yep.
There you
There
go.
you
Thank
go.
you. You're the best. Okay. Do you see this? This is what's behind the scenes in this particular prompt. Broad call to action. So if CTA stands for call to action. So contact us for more details. We're calling this broad. Why is it detectable? Because it doesn't give the reader a reason to act. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is one of the rules that we put in place inside this one of the documents here in order to produce the result you see here that comes up and says, this is bad writing, either because it's AI or it's just poor quality. Now, my point is that just by clicking on this custom GPT, imagine how much time it would take if you had to cycle through 34 pages of rules just from one document to see if the writing matches any of that stuff. And that's just for this custom GPT. If you look at all these different custom GPTs, they do different things. They are, I'll show you this one because this one's sort of interesting as another example. Some people here may have even seen this already. So what does this do? This walks you through a process of figuring out the pain points that the people you're trying to sell to, what pain they're in. I don't mean physical, but like why they're going to pay attention to you. So if I want to sell something, service, product, doesn't matter, and I want to understand, I want to write a better sales pitch, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build my first, what they call in the marketing world, an ICP, an ideal client customer persona, or ideal client persona, right? So I start the process and I say, okay, it's going to ask me a whole bunch of questions. It's almost as if I'm being interviewed. So, okay, I have all these things that I can fill out along the way, and it's going to walk me through all this, and I can ask ChatGPT to help me fill it out in case I don't know the answers. So this is an incredibly powerful script that's already been preloaded as a custom GPT. And you can create these things just by going to this screen and filling it out. Now, this is the hard part, obviously, right in here are the instructions. So what you can do is you can literally go to ChatGPT and say, help me build a custom GPT for some purpose. Right? I highlighted Charles because I know he does life insurance, and I could go through, I know a lot of you here. Yeah, Steve, you've got your project, with the helmets. Yeah, and you're trying to reach out to specific types of, let's say, neurologists. This helps you figure out what am I going to talk about with them that's going to get their attention. Going through, I'm sorry, I'll close that. Going through this custom GPT like this. The idea is I'm shortcutting the process and I'm leveraging what other people have done in order to help me get there. So for example, if you go to Explore GPTs, there's an entire library of GPTs. You can search for what other people have done. Now you can actually sell a GPT if you create one. There's a way to sell it through a third-party company. Eventually, ChatGPT said, I think in February 2026, they're going to allow you to sell them directly from their site. You won't need a third party. These are just scripts. I can keep talking about it, but let's start with the first question if anybody has any questions. I haven't looked at the chat yet. Let me take a quick look. All right, so GPT is like a template prompt. Yeah, that's basically what they are. They're templates. But they're not templates that you fill out. They could be that, but they're also scripts that execute functions. So let me show you the @ trick in ChatGPT, which is very cool. So let's assume we started here and we said, okay, these things make sense. Okay. If you put the @ in, what's going to happen depending, right? It brings up other ChatGPTs that you have on the screen, and you can then invoke them in the middle of a conversation. This is very, very powerful. So for example, here's a thing called Board of Advisors Review. Okay, so what that does is it says, I have a board of advisors, and in this particular board, they are all experts at marketing. I could have a board of Apple and IBM and people like that too. This one is for writing. So I could say, what would my board say about this Sony article? Now all of a sudden, it's reviewing the article, not about unintended consequences, but am I hitting the targets from a marketing standpoint? Maybe people have heard of Simon Sinek or Alex Hormozy, just as examples. So Just say, what would Hormozy say? And they all have their own ways of talking about marketing. So all of a sudden now I have Hormozy's playbook applied to this content. And I don't have to think about it. I already have that script built in to analyze. So how does this become relevant for everyone here? Beyond the fact that you can find people like me and others that have GPTs that they give away, and you can find people on YouTube that are broadcasting them all the time. You can create your own GPT about the things that you know. So if you've written 10 articles about something and you want an 11th one to be created, you can create a custom GPT with your 10, load them in, and now ChatGPT is sort of learning from your content, and it can write in your style without you having to tell it much, because you're just training it. As opposed to training the entire model, you're training just that custom GPT. That's the idea here. All right, how does this compare with Quillbot or Zero GPT? I do not know the answer to that, Richard. I think they're different. I know I've heard of them, but I don't know. I have to look it up. Maybe we can look it up. Tell you very quickly. Quillbot. Right, so that's different. Okay, so Quillbot is giving you a writing solution where they basically have created their own custom GPTs behind the scenes, or they're using a different model, or they're doing it through the API of OpenAI or Claude or one of those that it's behind the scenes, but it's essentially the same idea. So you're going to them instead of putting your own custom GPTs in, and then they're going to charge you. Zero GPT, I don't know what that is. Same idea. Right. It's just their own custom GPTs. That's all it is. Again, it might be a different type of it may not be ChatGPT, it could be Claude, but it's just essentially they've built some form of a custom GPT that you're using, right? Which ChatGPT level do you have to make? $20. You just need the regular pro, not the $200 a month version. Okay. I have something that is one of the holy grails for all of us, if we're in a business that requires some amount of marketing, is creating content. So I guarantee you could do this tomorrow morning. If you get any newsletters, you can take one article that you liked, feed it into ChatGPT. I'm going to create a custom GPT to do this, but you basically can ask it 3 questions, and you could say, okay, here, you know what? I can take one right now. Let's do it together. I'm going to take a newsletter that I got today, and we'll find one article. Take the most. Here's a sales thing, right? This is somebody's pitching us on turning contacts into champions, right? So watch this. This is where it gets exciting. So we're going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to evaluate that content. So I'm going to paste it in. I'm not even going to ask it anything. So now it's thinking. So for some reason, it's already ready to turn this into a LinkedIn post. Okay, maybe it's from the previous conversation. So this came out of this thing. It's now doing this. So what I do is I say, okay, this is a lot longer than what I pasted. Okay, what items were missing from the original article if I wanted to 10x its impact? All of a sudden now I've got ChatGPT telling me how to take that article and turn it into something greater, better, whatever you want to call it, without knowing anything. I can take anybody's content. I'm now comparing whatever article I got to the corpus of human knowledge that's inside ChatGPT. And by using custom GPTs, I can do a lot of things here. So for example, I'm going to pull up that story thing. If this will work here. Sometimes the @ doesn't totally work. Oh, I think because it was the other thing. Oh, it's thinking, that's why. Anyway, I don't want to do a delay. Let's do it. Yes, let's do a one pager. And all of a sudden now, if you think about the custom GPTs that we have here, we just created a one pager from that guy's content that's better than what I got originally in less than 5 minutes about how to turn a context into context into champions. And this is playing in 2 minutes. Now, if I wanted to let me finish it up. Hold on. Right? Okay. Can you convert this into a story telling framework? Now I'm doing that without the custom GPT, but the point is that how fast could you create content in any one of your professions for something? This is crazy. I don't want to go through all the details. My point is that custom GPTs, and that's why I want to make sure people ask any questions. It's so easy. It's just people didn't know they exist. And on top of it, I took one piece of content from a newsletter about a topic I didn't even know it was coming. I've sat here now and I can start, it's ready to give me a video script, slides, stories. I could have a narrative for a week and talking just about this concept. Here, watch this. There's a lot of stuff in here. Give me 5 headlines for LinkedIn posts on this topic for the week. 5. Awesome. 5 headlines, right? So here I have. This is making sense to everybody. I'm judging by the not having a lot of questions that it's really making sense, which is good. I don't know how to make it more exciting. Go ahead, May.
I have a question. I have Chat GPT 5 that I pay $20 a month, so I can't do the custom GPTs.
Yeah, you can. $20 a month. That's it.
Oh, how do I hit the GPTs?
Hit the explore button on the left where it says GPTs. When you go here, and then just click the create button on the top right.
I don't have that on mine.
Jason,
Yeah.
you don't get the explore button until you choose one of the featured or the GPTs.
Oh, is that how it works for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say
You
that
have to
again.
pick one and then it'll use it, and then it'll create the explorer.
Well, you know what, May? You could just ping me. We could do something separate to see if I can help you.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
have to spell
Thank
with everybody here. That's okay. But I mean, without playing the marketing game, I mean, has this helped people to understand how this stuff works? Because this was just a
Yeah.
whimsical thing on my end to try to show something that, or the better question is, what could I do to make this even better for people? Because I spend a lot of time in here. And it's hard to gauge. And also you have a room here where people are different experience levels. And I'm not using it just to create content, it's actually helpful for conversations. So you can bounce ideas off of using these models because you can put them into roles. All right, so let me give you another aspect of how to use a custom GPT. It's not just training it to do a task, it's also training it to be a personality. So for example, when I said I have a custom GPT called the Board of Advisors, right? So I'll show you what's inside of that because that's going to help. So in here, let me find it. Maybe I wish they had a way where you could open up the document. Anyway, the way the Board of Advisors actually I might have it. Give me a second. No, I can try to search for it, but I won't find it easily. No. So the idea of the Board of Advisors is, I can even show you. Watch this. We'll go to ChatGPT. We'll get out of that. And I'm going to go here just to a new chat. And I'm going to say, okay, what is Alex Hormozy's core view on marketing content? And you can do this for any person that is published online, including your own stuff. So let's assume this is Hormozy. He's a very famous guy. He did like an offer 3 weeks ago, made like $100 million in 48 hours. So he's very well known. He's got the beard and other stuff. So let's assume this is Hormozy's core takeaway. I could take this, put it into a text document or a Word document, and I have it all copied, right? And I'm saying, okay, I'm going to save this here. And this is a document about how Alex Hormozy thinks about business or communications, right? So now let's just assume I'm thinking about going into a market and I'm just spitballing ideas. I could sit here, pull up the custom GPT of Hormozy, feed in my ideas and just say, help me ideate, help me figure out, am I on the right track here? What should I be thinking about? But like a real board of advisors. So if you've got Tim Cook on your board and you've got, depending on the industry that you're in, I mean, there are so many articles written about Tim Cook and the way Tim Cook thinks as the head of Apple, you could feed that into a GPT and you could basically have a conversation as if he's sitting in the room next to you. Is it 100% authentic? No, but it's better than not having any of that content next to you. So the point is that you've got the ability to craft these custom GPTs for many different purposes. It could be to write, it could be just to bounce ideas. It could be then, which we didn't get into today, it's to do tasks. So let me get out of this. What's happening now is you'll see down here, there's a lot more things in here, right? Especially here. You can connect your Google Drive, you can connect a OneDrive, SharePoint, Canvas, or Canva 2. You can create a custom GPT that talks to a third-party tool like your Google Drive to do things and automate things. Today, I don't want to talk about automation, but the point is that these custom GPTs are the bridge to doing things faster, better, and then ultimately leveraging other tools out there. And then the other thing that's going to happen later is what's called MCP, but I'm not going to get into that now. So I'm trying to think what else we could talk about for now. I don't think there's anything that is critical. This is just the first one I wanted to explore. If no one has questions, then we can break and pick it up on my next one. Any other questions? Mary again or no?
May, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sure. Why is it important for you to make sure an article is not AI generated?
Oh, two. One is Google doesn't like AI looking articles. Two is you can watch people's eyes roll when they see your content and it looks like AI. You just don't get the same respect. So
But
why?
isn't the whole point of an article generated by ChatGPT, it's just the first draft? Like, wouldn't you go in and make it your voice anyway by editing and tweaking it? Like, you wouldn't just copy and paste it and try to pass it off as your own anyway, right?
Some would.
Some, of course, people do. And I would say to you like this, if you've trained your custom GPT to use your voice, then you shouldn't have to edit very much. And is it cheating to not edit? I don't think so, because it's like the guy who's a lawyer who hands the client a bill for 10 grand for a 15-minute phone call. And the client's took you 15 minutes. He says, yeah, but it took me 40 years to know who to call who's going to take my call.
Right.
Right? So here you've been writing, training, whatever you're doing to train ChatGPT. It's only harmful to yourself to not use a custom GPT to start you at second or third base, number one. Number two is if you can train it to sound like you and you have created the idea by doing the research, like I'll give you, it's personal. I started a Substack last week. It's the first, I've done 2 articles and I'm public about it. So there's no secret here. I spent an hour writing an article about why Jewish people say what we say in English is Happy New Year, but in Hebrew means something entirely different. And I never explored the topic before. We just grew up saying it. We say it, Shana Tova, but it doesn't mean that. And so I spent an hour and a half maybe on ChatGPT researching it, using my custom GPTs to help me get through the process, and printed an article with 5 reasons why we say it. I wish my marketing were as good as that article, which had nothing to do with my business. Right? Because people were calling me in the middle of their workday when I posted, like, we had to call you immediately. This was so good. And if I tell you that I edited more than 10%, I'd be lying.
That's awesome.
Right?
Just
So,
don't apply for a copywriter job with
no, of course.
Right.
So I say, like, one of my brothers is a, what's the word? It was on the tip of my tongue, but he wants it to be real. There's a word for it. And he's like, you're an imposter. I'm like, I'm telling everybody that I'm doing it. So
You're like, it's authentic, right?
authentic, right? But there's another word for him, but a purist, that's the word. He's a purist, right? And I'm like, you can be a purist all you want, but it's not going to pay your bills. I mean, the fact of the matter is people are using AI, and the colleges know it, the schools know it, the employers know it. So the key is at least use it the best way that you can, which is the point of this. So I'm teaching you things that are not difficult, maybe scary at the first, but really not difficult. And you can tell people don't have a lot of questions. Either I'm doing a terrible job where it really makes sense. And you have to just play with it ultimately, because there's so many ways you can tweak this stuff. I mean, I have like 5 different GPTs to just not write like a human. I have one GPT just to get rid of the big dash. Even though grammatically an EM dash is correct, now if you put one in writing, people who know you used AI, because AI is famous for EM dashes. So I literally remove them and replace them with hyphens, which is grammatically wrong, because I don't want people to see those big dashes. So a purist will be upset. Everybody else is not a purist, which is 99%. So the short answer to your question is, of course you should edit and make it sound like your voice. But at the same point, if you can get it to be good enough that you don't have to, how awesome is that? Because it should reflect your ideas. So you should be the catalyst for the outcome. But you don't necessarily have to sit there struggling with all the details. And there's no question that these systems will write on a sentence level better than most people. Right? You just have to be careful about certain nuances, picking up the wrong message, right? Or using the wrong words. So I think that's it. Good enough for now, right?
Good start.
Thanks, Jason.
Start first one. Thank you. Now I'll go watch my Dolphin game.
Go do that. And Stan.
I don't know the score. Don't tell me to tell me. All right. See y'all soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Jason.
Be well. Bye bye.